According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, experts believe PTSD occurs in 11 to 20% of the veterans who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. Paul Jagosian is a Vietnam veteran with PTSD. He helped spearhead a support group for veterans who have this disorder. So what is PTSD?
It's stress related. And a lot of policemen, firemen, there are a lot of jobs that, people deal with a lot of stress and they bottle this up inside and it really changes their life and changes the way that they look at life, changes the way they treat people. Something people sometimes don't even realize that they have. So it's like you don't want people to get near you because nothing but bad things happen. And that's sort of, I don't know in a nutshell, but it explains PTSD. You're angry, you're hyper-vigilant, you're a myriad of things. You don't want to go in crowds, you don't trust people, you're easily startled, you're sad, you have terrible nightmares, you wake up with a cold sweats and you got to change your sheets and change your clothes, and you dream about horrible things that you saw or encountered when you were in battle in the service. But it's a very difficult thing to deal with. It's a very difficult thing to admit that you suffer from. And I just started learning about service dogs for PTSD. And I think it's just a wonderful thing. Geez, I wish I had a dog that could have, because they're unconditional love and, it's wonderful. And to have a pet therapy dog is great, I know, for people with, in spinal injuries and whatever. But having it for post-traumatic stress disorder is really a great concept. And I think it really, really is a good thing.
Psychiatric service dogs are helping veterans deal with PTSD. One of the organizations helping to train these animals is Stiggys Dogs. It is an organization in honor of Ben Castiglione. He was a hospital corpsman serving in Afghanistan with the Marine Platoon. Ben was killed in action on September 3, 2009. His Marines gave him a call name, Doc Stiggy, taken from his last name. Ben was passionate about taking care of his Marines, and Stiggys Dogs helps keep that legacy alive.
Ben, yeah. Benjamin Philip Castiglione. That's his name. It's a long name. That's why it was. Marines aren't real big for long things. They like to shorten things down to something like Stiggy. He was, as a kid, he was always trying to help people. He was that kid that would spend his lunch money to give it to somebody else to help him out. He was always getting into trouble for that kind of thing, trying to help people. And, he joined the Navy because, he was at that point, he wasn't sure what he wanted to do in college, but he knew he wanted to help people. So he joined up, and that was the first part. Once he got in there and he really started, seeing what a corpsman does and how they help out, that was it for him. They have two choices. They can either be a hospital corpsman or what they call green side, and he immediately went green side. He wanted to be out in the field taking care of Marines, and it really wasn't about, it's not about the patriotism or, saluting the flag or anything for him. It was just, he cared about taking care of his guys. And that's why he went back. He deployed before he had to the second time. And he volunteered because somebody had to take care of his guys and he didn't trust anybody else.
Stiggys Dogs is a 501c3 nonprofit organization where we rescue dogs and we train them as psychiatric service dogs, and then we pair them with military veterans with PTSD, post-traumatic stress, and TBI, traumatic brain injury. There's a lot of ways that these dogs really help these veterans, and a lot of them, again, depend upon their individual need of what they're looking for. So first and foremost, I think that what we see commonly is that anxiety and panic disorder of being in crowds. Of constantly looking over their shoulders, and what these dogs do is they're able to get them up and out into crowds. And one way is, and I just had a veteran, I just saw Jeff Beck last weekend, and he said, when I'm out with my dog, now everybody looks at her. so nobody looks at them. But he also gave a different perspective, that it also gave him a chance to then look at them. So it gives them that sense of confidence, and the dogs also are their eyes and their ears.
There are many different types of service dogs out there. Most common one that people are familiar with is the leader dog for the blind. The second most common dog that people are familiar with is the hearing dogs for the deaf. There are a wide range of different dogs. We have mobility assistant dogs, we have seizure assistant dogs. Psychiatric service dogs is a pretty wide circumference of what we have. Under the psychiatric service dog, first of all, their main job is to relieve or mitigate a disability that their handler has. Whether it's a physical or mental disability, these dogs can actually serve double duty like that. Some of our dogs do a combination of tactile stimulation, psychiatric, service dog tasks, as well as mobility dog tasks. We also, one of our dogs is currently going double duty to be trained to be a seizure notifier. The veteran just recently started having seizures, so we're teaching the dog to go and find his wife when he's about to have a seizure. That's the best way, so that somebody is there to monitor. So a lot of these dogs, the psychiatric service dog field actually covers a wide range. These dogs can work with autism, these can work with special needs children, they can work with adults of any type of situation, whether it is mobility or more of a psychiatric. They're more commonly used with schizophrenics as well as with bipolar disorder. Anybody who's owned a dog can tell you the benefits of having a dog. They're absolutely wonderful. They don't judge you. So you could be having the worst day of your life and your dog's still going to look at you like they love you. So the psychiatric help there is just so natural for the dog to do. There are other tasks, though, that these dogs, that define them as service dog. They're not just a companion, they're not a therapy dog, they are a service dog. Some of the things that these dogs do that falls into psychiatric service would be medication reminder. If a patient goes on and off their medication, this is very bad to their health. The dog can be trained to notify them, hey, it's time for you to take your meds. So that is one way that the dog can help mitigate. The dogs are also trained to do kind of a surveillance, if you will. It's really, it takes a while to build that partnership, but once they have that bond and they have that cohesive unit, it's incredible. A lot of that weight is transferred to the dog, and the dogs really enjoy that work. They like to have that leadership role. They like to know that they've got it under control, and it's a very good balance. They really work well with each other when they form that bond. So.